prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined Descasio, transforming businesses through technology. Trusted by leading businesses, building trust with experience. Your complete digital transformation journey. Are you ready to empower your team, automate workflows, and drive innovation? Meet John, a dedicated financial analyst who spends countless hours sifting through piles of paperwork. His daily routine involves repetitive tasks that consume his time and energy, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted by the end of the day. His tasks include data entry, report generation, and financial analysis, all of which require meticulous attention to detail. The manual process is not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined processes. Create like a pro. Automate processes. Deploy, build rapidly. Save cost by paying in Naira and eliminate FX challenges. With Plug, John not only eliminates paperwork, but also completes tasks faster than ever before. Plug stands out by letting you purchase our products and services in Naira, eliminating the hassle of foreign currency transactions. Like what you see? Request a demo at plugonline.io. Descasio, transforming businesses through technology. Trusted by leading businesses, building trust with experience. Your complete digital transformation journey. Are you ready to empower your team, automate workflows, and drive innovation? Meet John, a dedicated financial analyst who spends countless hours sifting through piles of paperwork. His daily routine involves repetitive tasks that consume his time and energy, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted by the end of the day. His tasks include data entry, report generation, and financial analysis, all of which require meticulous attention to detail. The manual process is not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined processes. Create like a pro. Automate processes. Deploy, build rapidly. Save cost by paying in Naira and eliminate FX challenges. With Plug, John not only eliminates paperwork, but also completes tasks faster than ever before. Plug stands out by letting you purchase our products and services in Naira, eliminating the hassle of foreign currency transactions. Like what you see? Request a demo at plugonline.io. Descasio, transforming businesses through technology. Trusted by leading businesses, building trust.
Okay, everyone, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have us all here today again. We've had a previous session where we talked about no-code solutions, right? And I know that one of the things we do in Descasio is to, tell you about other products, tell you about Google services, AWS services, as well as Microsoft services. But today is going to take a very different turn. Because we're going to be introducing our own product that Descasio has, curated, innovated, and we're ready to give it out to you to use. So welcome again today for our webinar 2.0. My name is Umama David Okebe, and I'm going to be your host today. And I'm very sure that we're going to be having a swell time today talking together about technology and, using less codes when we work, for myself, for me, for instance, using no code is coding, in fact, gives me headache. I'm privy to have people around me that code a lot, that use a lot of, technology and work on the back end. But then I've tried it and it's a hassle. But today we're going to see how that has been demystified. We're going to be talking about how, Descasio has built a product where we really do not need to code, where organizations can adopt this product and also use it without, having so much back-end engineers or front-end engineers, tweaking these things, building codes, and so much more. So today we're going to be looking at what Descasio has to offer. And with me, are two great minds that are part of the Descasio team, and they'll be talking about this no-code platform and how it has revolutionized, the industry, the tech industry as a whole, and as well as how it's affecting businesses to do better and thrive, and in achieving their bottom line. So my first on the list today that I'll be talking about no code is Fikayo Olagunju, who is the GM Technology Services at Descasio. Fikayo is a dynamic IT leader and a driving force behind digital transformation in West Africa. I dare to say not just West Africa, West Africa as a whole, because I've witnessed Fikayo work and I've experienced his work ethics. I mean, it is nothing to be compared with mediocrity. And Fikayo is doing great things in the field of IT. He has over 15 years of proven expertise, right? And he's not just a worker, but he's a leader. He's also mentoring and coaching, young people to come into technology and do great things. And he has also led groundbreaking projects empowering businesses to streamline their operations. I mean, that's one thing that Descasio focuses on, how we can actually streamline our business operations. And Fikayo has been driving that a great deal in Descasio. And I mean, it is a no-brainer that he will be here speaking with us about this no-code platform and especially Plug itself. And the second person on my panel today is the person of Kehinde Shodmamu, who is a senior manager at Descasio, and he's also a full-stack developer. Kehinde has over 13 years experience in developing bespoke and enterprise solutions tailored to business needs. He specializes in EPR solutions and software development, holding certifications in major cloud platforms. And trust me, Kehinde is not just a developer, but he's also a business strategist. He holds an MBA from the prestigious Lagos Business School. And today, these two great minds will be telling us and taking us to have a deep dive into the no-code platform. So thank you again so much for joining us. Today is going to promises to be such a swell time and such a time that we're going to be equipped with a lot of information, and not just information, but also it's going to be equipping us on how we can go about adopting this no-code platform into our businesses to help us actually do business better and automate our processes as well. So thank you so much again for joining us. Thank you. Before I go ahead, I just want to do a quick check to know how we are feeling today in the room. So we can use our emojis. If you're excited, you can use an emoji to show that you're excited. If you are sad, let's see an emoji. I want to have us, interact. I see someone raising his hand. Okay. Please, I just want to see some interactions today. Are we excited to be here? Are we happy to be having this webinar and learn more about the no-code platform? I'm going to start calling names if nobody's responding. Lois Adekunle, I need you to respond. Are you excited? Mike Mbon, are you excited? Richard Oyiloye, I want to see some reactions, please. Are we here together? Oh, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to see some smiley emojis as well. How are we feeling today? I hope it has been a great day. Thank you very much. Excited. Thank you. We can also use the chat box, just to say how we are feeling today and what we're expectant of. So we can use the chat box. What are your expectations for today's webinar? Learning more about no code and specifically Plug itself, how you can, incorporate it into your business. You can use the chat box to just let us know what your expectations are for today's webinar. Okay, excited, great. Okay, I hope you can all hear me. Please, if you can hear me, can I have a wave, please, if you can hear me? So I'm sure I'm not speaking to all by myself. Can you hear me, please? Philip, can you confirm if you can hear me? Because I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any reaction.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, great. I think we can now go into a deep dive into what we are here for today. So I'm going to be starting with Fikayo. Fikayo, welcome again, and thank you for joining us to share this wealth of experience with us. So I'm going to be starting with you. So can you kindly tell us what the landscape is in Africa and in Nigeria in particular about no-code and low-code platforms? What's the landscape like at the moment? Over to you, Fikayo.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here. Yes, it's an interesting conversation whenever we talk about no code in Africa. And to be able to actually do justice to that, I'm going to be sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see it. I'm going to be doing that shortly.
Okay, that's fine. Um,
Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen very clearly. You can go ahead now, Fikayo. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. So there have been so many ongoing conversation about no code, about whether it's the present or the future, about the fear of how low code is likely to maybe make some job role run them into extinction and the rest of it. But I must tell you that it's gradually been fully adopted. And for now, we have a whole lot of foreign-based or international kind of organizations that have designed local platform. And before now, it's been a whole lot of conversation around forex exchange, foreign exchange, and rest of it. So, what is the landscape like? Based on my PPT or my deck, uh, there is a rapid adoption report that says most enterprise business would have adopted this for their critical business process by 2028. That's according to Forrester Research. What does that mean to Africa? It simply means the adoption in Africa is still a bit low. Yes, there might not have been an indigenous kind of solution to be able to use for such. But yes, there are foreign solutions, and people are also skeptical because after the COVID, that people begin to resume to the offices, we realize that there's a need for a whole lot of hands to be able to achieve some level of transformation or automation. And we also understand the fact that there's a whole lot of massive emigration in the country. So even if you require some well-experienced developer to help you automate some kind of processes in your offices, there's a possibility that you may not be able to access the right kind of the right kind of talent per time. So, and because of that, organizations tend to run to local platform. That's one. Then secondly, local platform reduces reduce time to market for you and make sure you're able to actually focus on your core businesses. Now, let me move to the second one. After talking about the local development and rapid adoption, which is focused around the enterprise business around the world, not just Africa, according to Foresters. We understand the fact that 4 out of 5 businesses in the US are using low code and no code to develop their application. Why are we not having the same kind of metrics for Africa? One, we will understand the fact that the data collection and management in Africa is not as robust as US and some developed countries in the European Union. And because of that, it's a bit difficult to do that. But from our research, when we look at a particular verticals, let's say we talk about manufacturing or we talk about FSI, that's the financial institutions, we've seen highest level of adoption in those 2 organizations. Let's look at insurance. Insurance and maybe the PFA, that's pension fund administrators, they've been a bit slow to adopting local platform, except for those that have maybe a mother kind of company or that is a subsidiary to a major enterprise organization, which may actually enable them to adopt it earlier than their colleagues or the other institutions in their field. So for 4 out of 5 business to have done this in US, it simply means they are doing very well. But let's look at Nigeria landscape. We have a lot of software out there. We have third-party application that is being used, because even for some, the most kind of uh, uh, the most kind of uh, easy or available application we can think of today is local platform from some of these hyperscalers, like the Microsoft of this world, like the Google, like the AWS. And when you look at them, there are 3 major things we need to look at. The skill set to be able to deliver that one, the adoption rates, which you may begin to think who and who has been using it, and how do you gain that knowledge. Then we are now also going to look at the amount that is required, because we all know that for every foreign-based applications, you need to pay through your nose, you need to consider dollars. And because the foreign exchange or the FX rate is not stable, it become a whole lot of problem. So I also look at the third point that says 47% of developers lack access to tools required to build apps fast enough to meet deadlines. Let me make it so simple. Let's look at an average PC that a developer can actually adopt. So let's look at it this way. What's the minimum specification of a PC that an average developer can leverage to build this kind of solution? You begin to talk about a massive kind of maybe 32 gig RAM. You talk about maybe a MacBook, or you talk about maybe an Alienware or a gaming kind of system that may cost you millions of naira just to look at it from that angle. And if you have to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 developers to achieve something, and now let's talk about the tools that is required. Imagine all the tools they need to put on that PC to make things work. At the end of the day, you could actually spend between 5 to 10% of what you need to actually kind of adopt a third-party solution like Plug that we are talking about today. So developers lack access to tools, and even they lack access to expertise. Now let's look at the next one, which is limited pool of qualified software engineers. We all know that everyone has JAPA as of today. In fact, to get someone that is so good and sound in software development, you need to begin to look at Nigerians that are in diaspora. So, and that means you may not necessarily pay them in naira, because they will tell you that they are paying in dollar, in pounds, in euro, wherever they are living, and they won't take naira from you. So let's look at that cost. Then what is the amount of time required to build this app? So let's go to the next one. Limited pool of qualified software engineers. I mentioned that. No sign of decrease in the demand of digitized workflow. Every day or day in, day out, there's a need to automate something. And when I say there's a need to automate something, I am simply saying, as of today, you will definitely see a flow or a process in your office that you are thinking of automating. That simply means the need for automation will never reduce. The demand will continue to increase. Now let's move to the next one. The cost and time required to build apps. I'm not sure, but I think I will throw this out to the house. What do you think is the minimum amount of month, days, or year that can take you to maybe develop an average application? Anyone can just put their hands up to answer that question. What's the minimum amount of time you've ever spent to maybe develop an application? Is Richard Oyelo's hand up? Please, you can just raise your hand and tell us. Anyone? What is the minimum amount of time you've ever spent to develop an application, and what type of application have you developed? So the floor is open. I'm expecting us to respond, please. Who is speaking,
Hello,
please?
House. I think we can answer the question if we have any responses.
Yeah, you can drop a chat, you can speak. What's the minimum amount of time you've ever spent developing an application? And if you've never had an answer on development, maybe you have some team that has been working on maybe an application. Oh, yes, Mustafa's
Okay,
hand
so we
is
have
up.
Mustafa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mustafa, you can go ahead, please. You can unmute your mic and speak. After Mustafa, we can have Michael Adilaja speak as well. Okay, I'm not sure Mustafa can speak. Okay, I see someone said 4 months. Okay, Mustafa said he can't speak at the moment, but he's into medtech and it took him 4 months to build an application.
Okay, thank you, Umama. So basically, when we look at that type of application, it may just be a server client based application. And when we look at the functionalities, the future, can we say it's an MVP or is it fully robust application? If it's an MVP, maybe just a most valuable kind of version of what you are building that you can just show, maybe like a model of what you want to build. Is it a full-fledged? And how many developer did you engage? Mustafa, you can also drop a chat to tell us that. Then I think Adelaide also raised hand earlier before. And do you want to speak?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
So thank you very much. I was trying to unmute myself all this while. So the mute button was not really available, and the chat was disabled too. Also, that's why when you ask people to give feedback, they could not actually give any feedback. I think that has been resolved now.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank
Yes,
you
yes.
for that, Mustafa. Please go ahead.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
another
that's
question.
that's my observation. That's my observation only. You can go ahead, please.
That's fine. Thank you. So we are simply looking at it from Mustafa's angle and from the comment that says 4 months. Definitely, it won't be a very complex application because definitely when you look at, yes, we've been talking about AI in recent time and there have been organizations that we have a whole lot of developers, 20, 30, 40, 50 developers. Some may even be as small as 4, but they will work tirelessly to achieve whatever they are trying to build. And they may be building it in 6 months, in 1 year, 2 years, and from time to time they'll be rolling out the maybe update or major updates depending on the functionality and feature of that solution. So now let's look at the next one. Need for continuous innovation, which is what I just mentioned. You don't want to build a solution that as at the time it will get into the market, it will have become obsolete. You want to continue to innovate, which means you need to continue to engage your product managers and your developers. Now, the next one is if Gartner forecast that the ratio of citizen developers to professional developers will be 4:1. What that simply means is okay, let's look at it this way. Who is a citizen developer? And who is a professional developer? A professional developer is someone like Kenny, while a citizen developer is someone like me. What does that mean? Yes, I was once hands-on on development back in the days. I developed a lot, but in recent year, I moved into architecturing. I left core development. Then I moved into pre-sales. I moved into some kind of maybe system analysis and designs. Then I moved into little aspect of management. And I don't really do a lot of hands-on. I also want to automate. I want to have a process and just log on to a particular place, just drag and drop and get something done. So there are same people like me. As of 2023, we are ratio 4:1. So wherever you see 5 people, only 1 person may be a well-rounded developer among them. And the rest 4 of them can actually automate, leveraging a low-code and no-code platform. Now, part of the highlights, it simplifies the dev process and remove entry barrier for wannabe developers, people like us. We want to be able to tell you that we've been able to automate something without knowing about JavaScript, TypeScript, without knowing anything about front end, about back end, about Q&A. we still want to do something. So basically, let's look at it. Let's look at it from this angle. A minute, please. Okay, let's look at it from this angle. When you look at the trends, the adoption rate, and the impact on the tech industry, you will simply agree with me that one way or the other, you might have adopted a local platform, but just that the level of adoption may be reduced because of the maybe overhead of the cost implication, or because of the ease of use, and thirdly, because of maybe the kind of maybe massive process that you have in place that you want to do that maybe that no code or local is not able to do for you. Then why is local also gaining popularity in this part of the world? Or why is a locally produced no code will be very important? Everybody knows about this NDPR. That's the Nigeria Data Protection Framework that has been adopted, and about all this data sovereignty. Even when you adopt a local no code today, simply means your data will be stored somewhere you cannot control, somewhere to the reach of maybe people staying out, people in diaspora. How do you also control that? How do you meet some of your compliance requirements depending on the industry you belong? It simply means it's our time we begin to look at a local product, a local solution. Even aside the fact that we need to consider cost, we also need to look at the need to be able to control who uses what in your environment as far as data is concerned. And everyone will believe with me that, or we agree with me that, as of today, data is the new oil. So if data is the new oil, how do we go about that? How do we go about that? So we need to look at it from that angle and begin to see the need for the adoption of local platforms. So I think I will leave the floor for people to comment and to give us maybe one or two of their experience on no code. Then I will hand over to Ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Fikayo, for that. But before I would let people begin to comment and say their thoughts, we'll have a time for that. But I would really just want Kehinde to actually just take us through, the benefits of no code, and if he could also cite, success stories that or success stories of people who have used this no code, and how it has also impacted their business. So Kenny, if you can, quickly just run us through the benefits and also give us case studies of people, particularly, people who have also used Plug itself and how it has impacted their businesses. Thank you. Hello, Kenny, over to you. Can you hear us, please? Okay, while Kenny is prepping to join us,
hello, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'll be running us through a quick session, right, which just talks about the benefits of no-code technology for businesses. Right, I'll be sharing my screen quickly just to walk us through this quick session. Share. Right. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome. Right. So I'll again be talking about benefits of no-code technology for businesses. Right. Right. No-code technology is transforming how businesses operate by enabling rapid application development without need for extensive coding knowledge. Fikayo has taken enough time to walk us through what's about how the world is evolving towards no-code more and more on a daily basis. And it's for not just any reason, but the fact that it's enabling businesses more to build the applications faster, to be generally more efficient. Right. I'll be focusing on three major parts or three major benefits. There are more, way more. But I'll just focus on three of these benefits quickly. First is cost efficiency, right? Building traditional applications the traditional way is becoming more and more expensive because you can imagine how hard sometimes it could be to hire developers, and sometimes even when you find them, you'll be shocked by their charges, especially in recent times. So it's getting more expensive to hire developers to build applications for you. And apart from developers, there are other personnel you still need to hire, like DevOps people, like CI/CD. Comes with the whole package, right? If you want from all that cost. Also, alongside hiring technical guys, it's the technologies that you may need to deploy, right? So, for instance, you may need to have an account on AWS, GitHub subscription, and all that, Firebase. All those technologies usually come. Sorry, can you hear me? Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, but there's a little squishing sound at your end.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's better now. Okay, hello everyone again. While Kende is trying to sort out his background sound or noise, let's just kindly note that a poll has been set up. So if we can kindly quickly take that poll, it will be most appreciated. So please kindly take up that poll quickly, as it has been put up right now. Thank you very much. Okay, so before Kende returns, so I just want to also know what the mood is in the room again. So if you're still excited, if you're still on a 10, can I see some emojis? And if you are okay, I think Kende is back now. So Kende, kindly take it up from here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me, Mama?
Yes, Kende, yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Apologies for that. But hope the sound is better now.
Yes, it's better.
Okay, awesome. Apologies for that. Please confirm if you can.
Kelly, we're still having troubles with your sound. It keeps going off and on.
Oh shit. Hold on.
Okay, so just to have a quick mood check again in the room, can you guys kindly tell me how you're feeling? Are you still excited? Are you learning? Have you picked up one or two things about the no code, low code platform? I would love to see responses via the chat and emojis as well. Are we learning something?
Okay, I've switched network. I hope it's better now.
Pardon?
I've switched networks. I hope it's better now.
I think it's still the same thing. The network is giving a little trouble.
So,
Okay, probably we can switch off to Fikayo. If Fikayo can, just tell us some of the benefits and case studies as well. Why Kende fixes his sound? It will be great. Fikayo, can you handle that for us, please?
I can go
or
to
let me try turn off my video. Maybe that would help.
Okay, I think Kelly is trying to speak also. So, Kelly, can you?
So I turned off my video. I hope it will help enhance the quality of the sound. Can you hear me?
It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. That's kitchen sound as well as
Okay, I think Fikayo can
the
just take over for now. So I
okay,
don't.
thank you. Thank you. So Fikayo, over to you. Kindly just take us through some benefits of the low code and particularly benefits and case study of people or businesses who have, engaged with Plug and what has been their success story so far.
Sure. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Can you let me know where you can see my screen?
Okay.
In a minute, or less than a minute, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Okay. But please let me know where you can see my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have my screen. Please confirm you can see it.
Yes, we can see your screen.
That was
Yes, your
my.
screen is visible now.
Yes, I'm going to. I'll move it to the next slide. Sure.
Okay.
Yes. So we talk about common business challenges because before you can talk about benefits, you need to be sure of the challenges you are trying to actually looking. You are looking for a workaround for. We understand the fact that when we talk about automation, we talk about manual and repetitive tasks. Automation. What is the kind of qualities or characteristics or features of manual and repetitive tasks? It's time consuming. It hinders productivity and growth. You just keep doing same thing over and over again, which may not necessarily be a good thing. Then we talk about limited resources. To be able to actually develop an application, we all know the fact that we may necessarily have to do a whole lot of things. Please give me 30 seconds. Can you confirm you can still hear me?
Yes, Fikayo, we can hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
Great, thank you. So we look at limited resources. And when we talk about limited resources, it's part of what I've actually done in the past, or what I've said while we're on this call, about the number of developers, about projects, the progress being slowed down, then the kind of back-end resources that is required, especially when you are looking at the scalability. You may need to begin to maybe get some servers to host whatever you need to build, or get maybe a footprint in one of the hyperscalers, maybe Microsoft, Google, AWS, or whatever, Okra. Now, costly integration, high cost of associated with custom integration and maintenance, to mention but few. Then operational inefficiencies, poorly operating processes that lead to bottleneck and errors. I was saying earlier, when I was talking about whether low-code, no-code is the present or future, I was trying to explain the fact that, yes, the country is trying. We have so many framework in place, but we can't really access a data that we can use to make some informed decisions, just the same way we can do to US, or we can do to some of these developed countries in the European Union. I mentioned that. So these are the challenges that we've seen that people are trying to find a way around. And to be able to accelerate your journey with low-code, no-code automation and integration, we are simply saying, instead of you going through 4 months, as mentioned by Mustafa, of automation, within 1 hour, you can achieve this. Just drag and drop, leverage a visual workflow automation tool, a fast and secure app publishing, a cross-platform integration, data report and analytics, and EC and app maintenance. These are part of things you can actually achieve. So we are simply saying you can achieve your automation by streamlining your process and free up valuable time. You can visualize, you can gain valuable insights without having to purchase additional license, or some of these OEM, they even kind of separate visualization license from automation license. Then we talk about data protection and privacy. Leveraging a local product like Plug simply means you now have control of your data. In fact, we have an aspect in which you can decide where you want your data to stay. If you have a SAN or NAS storage in your own premise, for as long as you can connect to our infrastructure, you can still keep your data there. Then we talk about enterprise data integration, which means you can integrate with over 1,000 third-party tools and application. That's actually massive. You will agree with me. What does this mean to your organization? You eliminate business bottlenecks, you build application faster, data protection and privacy, cross-platform integration. These are basically some of the advantage we can, or benefits we can see from low-code, no-code platform. And now that we begin to talk about AI, we also have some functionality that we, if time permits us, we talk about that give you room to be able to, instead of, we reduce the time you require to build the application, that kind of application that Mustafa mentioned, from like 4 months to, I can say a week. It will have been an hour, or it will have been an hour. I'm saying a week because we need to first understand, maybe you need to conceptualize what that is. Maybe we spend the day doing that. You need to validate your requirements. Then we need to now just drag and drop, which will not take more than an hour, depending on the amount of time you can dedicate to that. Then you need to now run maybe your UAT, test all the data points, and now be able to actually do knowledge transfer. So we are saying all these processes will take less than, I think in 4 months, we have almost 16 weeks. That's 1/16 of the amount of time you are required to spend. And if we are to pay some maybe professionals to achieve it, let's say one front end, one back end, one Q&A, one product person, and a senior person managing them, that's like 5 people. If you have to pay 5 people over 4 months, we know that's what that means in this economy. And when you now look at all this, we can now say we've saved you cost, we've saved you time, and we've saved you a whole lot of bottlenecks. And this is what it actually means to your organization when you're adopting low-code, no-code platform. So I don't know if there's any question from esteemed viewers. So let's hear from them if there's a question around some of the benefits we've mentioned.
Okay, we'll be taking questions. We'll be taking questions or contributions, or whatever you need to be cleared. We'll be taking that now. If you have, you can use the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we'll answer your questions. Okay, so Gladys is asking, right? Gladys said, really, it's a bit still confusing to me. So how would I just, start using this no code? Because I'm still a bit confused on what really the no code is. Does that mean that I will still be coding, but it's not as much as, normal? Or how do I actually go about this? That's what Gladys is asking. Okay, and then we also have, okay, do you want me to take all the questions? Pardon?
Maybe let's answer that first.
Okay, please go ahead.
I'm going to use a slide to explain, and I'm going to be resharing my screen.
Okay.
So how does it work? Standard-wise, when you want to, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Fika. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. So as mentioned by Mustafa, how does development works? When we want to develop, we do requirement gathering. We try to maybe understand the objective, the aim of developing a software. Let's even say it will start from a need. Maybe I have my HR, and HR was asking me, oh, I have a requisition app. Maybe whenever you want to request anything from the office, you need to take a physical form, you fill it, you submit to your supervisor sign it, it goes to HR minute on it, then it goes to finance minute on it and approve, then they return it to you and a payment will be made. That's one. Then if it's leave approval, maybe you want to request for a leave, you go to HR, you take the form, you go through that process again. If we are to develop that, what that simply means is we will first look at what we call a site map, like a data flow diagram or a kind of flow chart of what you are trying to achieve. After getting that done, you get a UI UX that will be able to help you to represent that application or that process through whatever platform, Figma or whatever. Then you need a front end and back end. Front end will make that UI very active and intuitive with the UI UX. Then the back end will code whatever, depending on the stack you've adopted. Then after then, you have to run the testing. You have a Q&A person that will test it. Then after testing, you do different type of tests. Maybe the unit test, the whatever, system test, any form of test you can think of, maybe automated test, manual testing, just achieve all those testing. So after achieving all those testing and it works perfectly, then you can now say, yes, you have a software. But how does low code work? Low code is saying, the moment you understand what you want to achieve, even if it's a hard copy of that form you have, just log on to plug, be dragging and dropping. It's a UI designer, just as if, let me see what I can use. Like it's not as boring as Microsoft Word platform, which we'll likely be talking about or will likely show you. If Ken is able to come back online, or if I'm able to log on to my platform, I may be able to show you around it. So you'll be able to just drag and drop. Then from dragging and dropping, you have that form within an hour. You can achieve that. So I don't know if that answers a question first. Maybe we should start from there so that before we now go ahead to talk about other things, we just want to make sure that we are not confusing her with the explanation of how low code, no code works. So low code is saying you don't need to code, you don't need to program, you don't need to learn JavaScript, you don't need to learn Python, you don't need to learn TypeScript. Just drag and drop the icons, the forms, the your logos, your rows, your columns, and you will have the form, a live form, a fully functional form. So I don't know if that answers the question before we go to the next
I think that I believe that should have answered her question. Okay, she said yes, because she's private chatting me and she said yes. So we have another question before Kennedy gets ready for us. So we have another question from David Akinoso. He said, what is the best no-code platform to use out there? Because I currently use Microsoft Power Automate at the moment. So what is the best no-code platform to use?
Okay, so to best answer this, there's no best low-code, no-code platform because almost all the low-code, no-code platform have one limitation or the other. For instance, we've been partnered with Microsoft for over 15 years, and we understand how Power Automate works. And I can assure you, in fact, when you look at how Plug came into being, is because we are partnered with a whole lot of low-code, no-code platform, and as at the time we've deployed this for our customers, we realize that there's a limitation to it. So if I will tell you what's the best, I will ask you what's your requirement. If your requirement is just data sovereignty, you want to have control of your data, is you don't want to be spending dollars anymore because now you can't predict your budget. If the budget that was approved as at last year, December, in your strategy session, in your organization is, let's say, maybe ₦1 million, and dollar was maybe 600 naira then. What that simply means is, now that dollar is around 1,600, your budget will not fix again. So what's your kind of requirement? Tell us what your requirement is, and we'll be able to advise you what the right low code is. But based on some of these options we talk about, or some of these kind of need we've spoken about, Plug may actually be a best fit for you. So I don't know if that is able to answer your question, even though you may think I'm biased, but I can give you a battle card of multiple local platform that we have hands-on on, almost 10. That even from maybe Gartner, for instance, they've talked about in the past. And based on that, I can also assure you that some of them don't actually have what plug has. Yes, they have similarities. So if you need it, we can take the convention forward. We share a battle card with you that shows a comparative analysis of all these local platform and the comparative advantage of plug over them. Hope that answers your question, please.
Okay, I believe that should have answered David Akinos's question. So we have another question here from, kindly give me a minute. We have another question from Oluwaseun. Oluwaseun is asking, what are the tools needed with no code?
Sorry, I didn't get that. What are the tools?
Needed for no code.
No tool is needed. Just understand what you want to automate. Log on to it. We can practicalize this. So you can just request for a demo, or we can note Oluwaseun's request, then make sure he or she can access a demo site anywhere from now. You don't need any tool. Just understand what you want to do. Understand the flow of your process. Know that when I pick up a form, I will write my name. Know that you are putting your name, you are putting your department, you are getting it to your maybe what approval level are you looking at? Is it 1 or 2 or 3 approval levels? The moment you understand that, you don't need any tool to achieve this.
Okay, thank you very much, Fikayo. We have so many questions here, and we are slowly running out of time, but I'm going to take 2 more questions before we call it a day. So Mike Umbon is asking, is your solution an EPR? ERP rather, is your solution an ERP?
So our solution is not ERP. ERP simply says Enterprise Resource Planning Platform. So if you have processes you want to automate that serves you as ERP, you can bring it to Plug. But Plug is not ERP. Plug automates any form of solutions or any form of use case or any form of, when we say ERP has a definition, a standardized definition. When you look at Gartner or Foresters or even IDCs, there's a recognized standardized way of defining what ERP is. So the answer is no. Plug is not ERP, but Plug can help you get close to achieving your ERP requirements if you understand what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we have another question from Mike again. Mike was also asking, does your plug work with Microsoft SharePoint?
Yes, I mentioned earlier that we can integrate with over 1,000 applications. So it depends on what you want to achieve with it. So if you want to automate unplug and you want maybe your SharePoint to be your data source, or you have some applications you've automated using SharePoint list or whatever you've used, why not? We can look at it. But when you say work with, we can interoperate with any solution. We now need to confirm the interoperation of Microsoft. So the answer is yes, it can. It now depends on your use case. So you can share your use case with us, then we can take it from there.
Okay. So I think Kenny also has a backup answer to that. He said it can be integrated just as well as Fikayo said, and he said integrations are being added on a daily basis. So Plug is not just a static, software. It is a software that keeps innovating day in, day out, right? Okay, so I think I'm going to be taking one last question because we are totally out of time. So I'm going to just take one more question and then we can call it a day, but you can always, bring in your questions and we'll address those questions. So David is asking again, what is the difference between Plug and Microsoft Power Automate? Kenny, do you want to take that question? Okay, I think Kenny's still not available. So Fikayo, please, can you take that question? What is the difference between Microsoft PowerPoint and Plug? Am I audible, please? Fikayo, can you hear me? Fikayo, can you hear me, please? Am I audible? Fikayo, are you there, please? If you're there, you can respond. Thank you, David, for that response. Fikayo, if you can hear us, please, can you kindly respond? Or Kenny, if you're available, you can take that question. Okay, thank you,
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Candy. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
so apart from the user experience, right? Plug has capabilities for certain customizations that you won't find on Power Automate, right? Yeah, quite all right. You can also customize on Power Automate, but Plug offers some deeper levels of customization. And the sweetest part really is the fact that you pay in local currency, not in foreign currency, right? And that's a major benefit you get from Plug. So you won't get affected by the fluctuations and the extreme exchange rates that we are facing currently.
Okay, thank you
Hear
so
me
much.
clearly?
Yes, we could hear you. Thank you very much, Kendi. So thank you so much, Kendi and Fikayo, for taking out time to speak to us today. We're totally out of time. But if you have more questions, you can kindly reach out to us on all our social media platforms, and you can also reach out to us via emails as well. So on the screen, you can actually see our email and all our social media platforms. LinkedIn, we're at Descasio, Twitter, Descasio, Facebook, Descasio, and on X, we are Descasio Official. So please kindly reach out to us on all of those questions. So Toyin, you said, please let him answer my question. Okay, Toyin's question is, can you give examples of no-code platforms? Kenny, can you take that question, please? Or Fikayo, if you're available, please can you take the question?
Yeah, I'm here. So when we say example of local platform, you can talk about maybe the power automate of this world. We have a lot of them. We have process makers, and some of them, they don't claim to be local platform, but they have aspect of local platform. Some of these EDMS, they have aspect of local platform, even though they might have decided. When I say EDMS, I mean enterprise document management systems. So some of them have aspect of local platform. For instance, if you talk about Laserfish, you talk about the M5s, they have some aspect of automation. So aside from the fact that I've mentioned process maker, I've mentioned power automate, and the rest of them. So we have some couple of them. It depends on what you are trying to achieve. And I did not remember to also mention Plug. Yes, Plug is a local platform made by Africans for Africans and to Africa. So I don't know if that answers your question.
I believe, Toyin, has that question be answered? I believe so. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, I think she's satisfied. Oluwaseun, kindly know that the recordings will be sent to your emails. So thank you so much, everyone. We've had, a very interesting day, learning about the local no-code platform and specifically on Plug. Apologies, we couldn't do a demo today for Plug, but rest assured that demo for Plug is always on the website, so you can go to www.plug.io and you can watch the demo there, or you can also reach out to us. And we can also reach out to us for a demo or to talk directly to a sales executive that can take you through the process of onboarding Plug into your organization. And rest assured as well that at the end of this webinar, a video, if you can stay tuned, a video is going to be played and you can also see the demo to Plug. So thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful day and on this very interesting session that we've had. Kindly look out for more sessions like this where we come to demystify what Plug does and how Plug can actually affect your business positively and help you automate all of those business processes. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be seeing you soon again. And I still remain your host, Umama David Okebe. Thank you and have a very beautiful day. And thank you very much, Pikayo. Thank you very much, Kendi, for joining us today. Bye for now.
Descasio transforming businesses through Trusted by leading businesses. Building trust with experience. Your complete digital transformation journey. Are you ready to empower your team? Automate workflows and drive innovation. Meet John, a dedicated financial analyst who spends countless hours sifting through piles of paperwork. His daily routine involves repetitive tasks that consume his time and energy, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted by the end of the day. His tasks include data entry, report generation, and financial analysis, all of which require meticulous attention to detail. The manual process is not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, affecting the overall efficiency of his work. But what if there was a better way? Introducing Plug, a revolutionary no-code platform designed to simplify and automate complex tasks. With Plug, John can easily create automated workflows without any programming knowledge, transforming his tedious tasks into streamlined processes. Create like a pro. Automate processes. Deploy, build rapidly. Save cost by paying in Naira and eliminate FX challenges. With Plug, John not only eliminates paperwork, but also completes tasks faster than ever before. Plug stands out by letting you purchase our products and services in Naira, eliminating the hassle of foreign currency transactions. Like what you see? Request a demo at plugonline.io. Descasio, transforming businesses through tech.